And here we are with December. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here, bringing us hashtag Same Six Wednesday, round 5. Check out this neat stuff from Tanya McGuire, our hostess with the mostest. So anyway, we started off in August with my stuff. We moved on to September with Barbara's. October brought us Beth. November was Maria. And now December is Tanya. And January will be Lisa. And February will be our flip flop and our how to. We did our projects, faces, stuff. All right. So round 5. That means we've done this kind of thing, this kind of collaboration 4 previous times. Okay. I have all of my videos listed in a playlist, which I will do my best to put in the description below the hop links, because there are hop links to all my fellow collaborative artists in this wonderful Same Six Wednesday event, y'all. Please be sure to drop by over there, watch their videos, give them a thumb up, aka like them, leave a kind comment, and subscribe to their channels if you're not already subscribed. Click the bell for notification if you have your account set up to receive said notifications. It is certainly fun to use the same items, okay, and then to see how each other use them, because we sometimes use them the same and sometimes we don't. Just saying. Just don't never know. Just don't never. So we've got this fun ribbon, and it was a wired ribbon. You know, so I pulled the wire out, and I've got some cardstock. I don't know if it was scrap or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Been a couple days. So I glued it onto the ribbon onto the cardstock, and now I'm putting fray check on it. Fray check is your friend if you've got really fraying uh, stuff. Okay, just saying. So I'm putting it all around the edges so it won't fray, because just the Fabri-Tac on the back will not stop this particular ribbon from fraying. Coming apart at the seams. Well, there's no seams. Anyway, so we got that set inside over there to dry, because you don't want to really use a heat gun on it if you can at all avoid it, on account of, I think fray check is flammable. Anywho, we've got this fun, it's basically like a library park pocket. And I wanted it gold. So we got out some gold acrylic paint, and we're painting on it. I've just got that glue stick uh, tucked in there to keep it open, because I don't want it to actually accidentally glue shut, because the acrylic paint will glue things. When it dries two things together, it just does it. So we've got this fun piece of, I'm sure it's a wrapping paper. It's really pretty, y'all. And I wanted to use that particular frame. So I cut it out, and we're going to glue it on top of something. Oh, I decided to make this look more like a tag, and I got this corner puncher thing. It didn't want to punch through the ribbon. I wasn't that surprised that it didn't want to punch through the ribbon, okay? But once I trimmed this off, I'm like, I'm going to put some more fray check on there, because, that's what you got to do sometimes. Unless you want it to fray, because, And I glued one facing one way and one facing the other, because to me both sides are equally beautiful, and I wanted to use both sides of the ribbon, that is. Okay? Okay. So the video is in hyperspeed for your viewing pleasure and maybe my voiceover ease. So because these are now tag shaped, I thought, well, I'm probably going to punch a hole in them, for tags, like a tag. So I went ahead and put the fray check around where I thought I might would punch. Can't see where I put it later, but anyway. So I've got a little bit of glue left in this glue stick, and I'm not throwing it away, y'all. That's valuable commodity right there. So I just got out one of my palette knives, and I'm going to smoosh it around on the back side of the square of wrapping paper, because we're going to glue that onto our library pocket. Oh, it's so rich looking, y'all. I think it's rich looking. Does it look rich to you? We're rich. Yes, it's so rich. All that gold. Gold is everywhere. And I thought, well, I need to get some of this other stuff. So then I just went ahead and cut them all apart. I mean, I kind of had an idea in mind, but I wasn't sure how well it would work out. So I guess we're just going to have to watch and see. Well, I know how it worked out, but you're going to have to watch and see how it works out. Okay? Okay, so I thought, well, I'm just going to stick with that main color there because that particular square had the red in it. That worked well with the color of the ribbon. Good. I thought, well, let's put some of these behind our library pocket. And can I line them up so that they kind of all look like one piece? And it sort of does. I mean, you stared at it long enough and picked it apart with a pair of tweezers. I mean, you'd be like, yeah, that's not one piece. But well, it is one piece because it's all glued together now. So there you go. There we have it. There it is. Okay, okay. So there was one little hole in there, but you can't see it because now it's behind the pocket. And I left the back of it open for another pocket. I didn't put anything in it. I'm going to spoil that right now from the get-go. I did not put anything in the behind the pocket. Okay? So we're going to do some heat embossing. I go in sprays. I do heat embossing, and I do acrylic painting, and I do collaging, and I do backgrounds, and I do die cuts. But I seem to do it in sprees, don't I? Well, to me, it seems that way. Anyway, so we're mixing it all up on the little oval medallion, aka book plate, name plate, tag, whatever you want to call it. Oh, makes me so stinking happy, y'all. Love that white pearly stuff. Probably said that before, but it's still true. Just saying. And I think I used my Stampability embossing ink, and I just smooshed my little label-y thing on it. Pecan, y'all. You thought I was going to miss saying it, didn't you? I know you did. Pecan, y'all. So, see? Oh, it's so pretty. It's like, wow. Need a little bit more on that one little corner. Here's some other thing. Don't put your mixed up embossing powders back in the other containers because then that'll be all mixed up. And you don't want that. Okay? You want to put it in a little container of other party mix embossing powder. So one day you can use it and you will have this really unique embossing powder. So I got a circle punch, and we punched out a little scrap of the cardstock because I'm going to stick this on top of the smaller tag. It's like a thumb or a tab. It's a tab on the tag. Ah, y'all. My goodness. Because we have some brads. Tanya says some brad, one snowflake and two circles. Okay. And we're going to put the snowflake on this one. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just smooshing that around with a stylus, you know, an embossing stylus. So to relieve uh, some of the cardstock, so I can cover up the brad on the back side. It's what I'm trying to get to. And if you don't give a little relief in your cardstock, it's going to try to buckle and fold on you. Do I do this all the time? Absolutely not. I just happened to think of it this time. So yeah, we're doing it. Because I want to cover up the brad on the back side. Why? Because I want to. Because I would use other brads, but they don't necessarily get covered up. Just saying. There went that cliffhanger. I don't know what's going to make you stick around and watch the rest of the video now. I don't know. So we have the smaller tag, and I thought, well, you know, that'd be a good place for a journaling spot right on the back. So let's get a stamp with some lines on it, and that just happened to be nearby. I wouldn't say it was on the desk, but it was nearby. So there we go. Smooshing it all down, stamping it, stamping it. I don't think I know the name of that stamp either, by the way. And on the back of the larger one, we're going to do some inking through this here handy dandy Jones Smithy's stencil. And I use, I think I only use a couple colors. Brown, aka coffee color. I don't remember the other color. We'll have to wait and see what that is because I don't remember. Don't remember. There's a list of ingredients in the description below, along with a handy link list. So you can go by and watch my fellow collaborative hoppers and see what they did. The same 6 items from Tanya this month, okay? And our Same 6 Wednesday happens on the third Wednesday of the month. So there we go. And we were using blue. Surprise, surprise, we're using blue. Ah, y'all, I don't know. Just are. It doesn't look too blue once we pull it off. You're like, yeah, that's kind of messy-ish. This one's going to get a paper doll. And I decided I'm going to color her up with the ohuhu markers. Now they are a watercolor marker. And the paper dolls have a sheen to them, so they're kind of sealed up. They are sealed. Anyway, you have to be really careful, otherwise all your not magic marker, watercolor marker will just come right off. It might stain a little bit, but it will come right off. So you have to be careful and let it dry. And you could use just a water brush or a damp brush to remove places you don't want that particular color marker. I've seen people use the embossing glazes on these things, and that looks pretty cool. I think I only have one embossing glaze. Anyway, neither here nor there. So we're doing the tree in green because it's a Christmas tree, in case you weren't aware of. It's just a burr. And I'm just trying to make it so that it looks green, but it's not, the background's not green because you can see the space behind the tree, okay? And I'm trying to decide, I used a heat gun to dry, just saying. You didn't see that part, but I did. What side of the tag do I want to put them on? I decided I like them on the red side because the back side I'm not that happy with, but I might cover it up with some paper at some point, and I might not never do it. Might not never. So he's getting glued on there, and we let him dry. We let him dry for a while. Now I got this Sizzix stuff, texture, molding, expanding paste. It's in the description below, okay? I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. And I'm smooshing around, and you're thinking, ooh, that looks nasty. It does kind of look a little nasty. And you're like, well, what are you going to do with that? This is magic stuff. Watch. Heat gun, y'all. Keep watching. Keep watch it. You're going to see like some popcorn action. Pop, 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 pop. Look at it. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Look at it, y'all. Oh, it poofed all up like snow. And I just used that acrylic block just to smoosh it down a little bit because, you know, it was pretty standy uppy, but you can smoosh it down just a little bit. And then that made some of the wet paste underneath squish out. So he got some more, y'all. And then I'll get out the little container because I'm like, well, I don't like how that looks. I'll put just a little more there. It's like he's standing in snow. Isn't that what it looks like, y'all? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So we did poke a hole in this one. We punched it with a hole punch. And I thought, well, I'm going to put a little reinforcement on it, on the back. So we're just putting, you know, a couple of little hole reinforcers on the back. The back is already unattractive, so I didn't think we were going to mess it up. Wait, as if you had anything to do with it. So, anywho, put an eyelet in. Gonna set it. It sets pretty good. Making me pretty happy. I did not have to go bam it. I don't know what's up with that. Lately, I've not been having to bam my eyelets. I don't understand. I finally learned how to do it again. So now we've got this wonderful yarn, aka fiber bit. As you can see, it's red too. It's got a purple thread through it. It's really pretty, and it's textury. And I cut way too much flooful to put through that little teeny tiny hole. It wasn't teeny tiny, but it became teeny tiny. So we've got this is that table runner I got from the Hobby Lobby spring shop clearance. I don't know, a year or two or 20 ago. It's not been 20, but anyway, it's been a while. Oh, my crochet hook won't fit through there, so now I got to try to twist it all up, shove it through that little tiny eyelet hole. I think I end up taking a piece of the yarn out because I'm like, well, that's too much. It's just too much flooful. Put my cheesecloth table runner back in there, okay? I know, I flip flop. Is it cheesecloth? What kind is cheesecloth? But it's already colored. I didn't dye it. It came that way. I like it. I keep chunks of it that, you know, I have several different colors, and I keep it hanging right there underneath my tabletop, so I can just grab it, lickety split whenever I want it. So we get that work through there. We're getting it. We're getting it. And then we gotta tighten it up, but we don't want to over tighten it, you know, because we made the loop and we're pulling the loose tails through the loop. Okay, I gotta do like one at a time. I know it looks so messy, doesn't it? It's like she don't even know what she doing. Well, she sort of does never know. Sort of does never know. Well, I do know stuff. Just don't never. Anyway, we're trying to pull each individual one to tighten up our little loop, but not over tight, just a little tight. Because we don't want to break anything. We don't want to break it now, I'm telling you. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like, yes, you're standing in the snow. And I just happen to have some Dove, brads. And so we just stuck that on the back. And now we're back to our little label. Okay. Cutting a little, some of the little arms a little shorter on the brads because I don't want them sticking out. Putting them in there. Like, that one's more better now. Oh, and I went around the outside of the little label. I don't think I filmed that part because, you know, I don't think I did. I used a gold, Deco gold marker pen. And then I realized I need my date stamp. So I got out my archival and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, that is now a non-porous surface with the embossed powder on there. Okay. Now it's non-porous. And I got to mess with some strings on my stays on because that works on non-porous stuff. Okay, it takes it a minute or 5 to dry, but it will. If you can stamp it correctly, which I couldn't do. So I got out baby wipe or paper towel, whatever that is. And then I'm going to get the alcohol out. Isopropyl, 90% alcohol. I put a little drop on there. And if you do this pretty quick, it comes up pretty good. It might get stained, but it comes up pretty good. It just kind of adds to the distressed nature of our label now. And I just keep doing this. Like, and after this one, I'm like, how many times am I going to stamp it and then erase it? How many times am I going to do it? That many times. Yeah. It was so hard. I was like, I can't stop myself from just repeatedly doing the same thing. Isn't that the mark of insanity? I thought, I know how to fix this. So I grabbed some scrap deli wrap over there. And we stamped our date on the deli wrap. We're using a water brush pen to water cut the deli paper so that it's smaller and it will fit onto our label. And instead of using fluid matte medium like I typically do, I'm going to use, was it a Deco Art gloss varnish? And it worked just fine. It works. Because it needed to be shiny, because the embossing powder is shiny, y'all. Just saying. See? Oh, goodness. And it worked. It's like, yeah, most people are going to think I stamped it right on there. But y'all know the real secret, don't you? And we gotta let that dry. Sometimes that's the hardest part is letting stuff dry, y'all. It's like, oh my gosh. Ethan! Dry that puppy up. Okay, we are now at the flip-flop stage. I put my brads on there and glued it onto the library envelope. You didn't miss anything in that, y'all. So here's our smaller tag. See, it's just a ribbon and a place to draw on the back if you happen to do that kind of thing. And here's our fellow with the Christmas tree on the ribbon with the snow and our not so attractive back. Ta-da! For the montage. We all appreciate each and every one of you, your likes, your shares, your kind comments, your subscriptions. Please be sure to drop by and visit my fellow hoppers. Their links are in the description below. Be sure to, likewise, like, kind comment, share, subscribe on their channels. This is such a fun thing, y'all. If you ever get the chance to do this, switch or, trade stuff with your friends, the same stuff, it's an interesting concept. Okay? Just is. So I'm so happy with how you can seal those when you use the watercolor stuff, but you need to use a spray sealer and not too much because you don't want it to run. Thanks for watching and happy art, y'all.